Dolphins.
Just to
you
be
go for it.
I'll
real
take
with the
this
people.
one. This is a big spread right here, too. It's Dolphins and Jags by 7. And I just don't believe that we're all right now. And it's for this reason specifically. Dolphins are beefing publicly, okay, with Ryan Clark. And I feel like they got to come out and just show. But no, seriously, 7 is a little bit too much for a preseason game, I feel like, with the Dolphins, as much talent as they do have. So I'm actually going up against that one.
So you're going Dolphins plus 7.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins on
Okay.
this one.
Okay.
Yep. Finish out the list?
No. We'll go one at a
I got
time.
Dolphins. I'm taking Dolphins on this one.
Okay.
All right.
7 points, just a bit much.
I'm actually going to go the opposite.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
First head-to-head matchup. I love
so
it.
I'm going to go Jags minus 7.
You got Jags by 7?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that one. That sounds good to me.
Robert Walsh.
I'm going to go to college first.
Okay.
And I'm going to go – I'm leading the sicko committee today.
Oh, boy.
New Mexico State and UMass.
Ooh.
I'm going to go – when you look at it, and if anybody can tell me what the hell TSI is, every time I look at a gambling website, every time I look at a betting website, somebody's like, well, TSI defensive metrics. I don't know what it means, but they're a whole lot smarter than I am. So just a little background. New Mexico State last year was 120 in TSI defense. UMass is 123 in defense. So neither one of their defenses are good. UMass also projects to be one of the worst offenses in FBS. So I think New Mexico State clears 6.5, and they cover that and take down UMass.
All right, so you've got
New
again,
Mexico State by 6.5.
New Mexico State minus 6.5. The Aggies starting off the season hot. I'm going to stay local for 2 of my picks, by the way. I'm going to do something that you're not supposed to do. I'm going to give you reasons why Hawaii will cover, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm picking Vanderbilt to cover against the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii. Since Clark Lee took over, Vanderbilt is 0-5 against the spread at home against non-conference opponents. Hawaii played better than expected in a 3-win season last year, rebuilding under a new head coach. They covered in 7 of their last 8 games, despite losing 63-10 to open the season against the Vanderbilt Commodores last year. I think this number has moved too far in favor of Hawaii for that reason. And it's hard for me to bet against a team that won a game by 53 points last year to not be able to cover 17.5 on their home stadium without the crazy travel that Hawaii is going to have to take. I think Vanderbilt has a good shot at bowl eligibility this season. I like what Clark Lee's done. I think there's a lot of excitement around that program. And if they kept Ray Davis, their running back, who's now at Kentucky, I think this team would absolutely, make a bowl game this season. Give me Vanderbilt minus 17.5. I think you should absolutely, if you're Vandy, be able to cover that number on your home field against a team you beat by 53 last season that has to travel hours and hours on a flight. I think that's an easy pick in favor of the Commodores.
Wonder how soon they get in. Like, did they get in on Tuesday or did they get in?
That's a good question.
Good question. There's a lot of adjustment there.
Oh my gosh,
a lot of adjustment. So it would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if they spent most of the week here.
Yeah, I would suggest that be the case. Clark Lee, by the way, was on 3HL. He was real good with them yesterday. If y'all missed that interview, man, he was real good with them.
That one on SEC Network Saturday night, 6:30, the kickoff. That is 1:30 Hawaiian time.
1:30 Hawaiian time?
Honestly, this is a good scout for many of us who are sickos, who are looking at a first time for a Hawaii team that is often the final bet you would make on a college football Saturday. Hawaii is the national team of recouping your losses at the end of a Saturday. If Pac-12 After Dark still puts you in the hole, Hawaii is the savior for a lot of people. Like, well, let me see what the Hawaii game is. I got to win something today. And then you just bet on Hawaii because they're always the last game going on.
Yeah, that's very true.
And soon we'll be able to say that about Big Ten After Dark. If Big Ten After Dark doesn't work for you, the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors are always there.
Always there waiting.
Yes.
All right, pick number 2.
Pick number 2. This Lions-Panthers game. Panthers are favorite 4.5. And considering the team that the Lions have, I can't see the Panthers winning this game. On behalf of the idea that Teddy Bridgewater's a backup quarterback. They also have a running game. They have a second offensive line that's pretty solid, and they also bite kneecaps. I always got to go default to the kneecap biting when you're facing the Detroit Lions. A better team this year. It's going to be, I think, a race for the NFC North. So there's no way I see them dropping that game, and the spread is 4.5. I'm not believing that one. I got Lions on this one.
So Lions
Over Panthers.
minus 4.5?
Minus 4.5.
Okay.
Lions, well, it's actually Panthers minus 4.5.
Okay, so Lions plus 4.5.
Lions, plus
Okay.
4.5.
Okay.
I'm taking them.
So I'm going to go overseas. I'm going to go to Dublin, Ireland, where there is a college game happening. If you did not know, yes, there's a college game happening overseas. And favors, probably one of called Notre Dame. Probably their homeland over there. And what I like about this, I'm going to go minus 20.5 Notre Dame. For the sheer fact that they do have a new quarterback, it's Sam Hartman, but Navy changing offenses too. So I'm going with minus 20.5 Notre Dame.
Okay.
I like it.
Playing
like it.
overseas. That's got to be pretty cool, too. You said Dublin?
Yeah,
That's where
Dublin,
they're playing?
Dublin,
Ireland?
Ireland.
Does that
Ireland.
count as
Yeah.
a home field advantage for the Fighting Irish
it
playing
should.
in Ireland?
I think so.
Yeah, what's the point total you get in favor of a home field advantage? It's 3 in the NFL. What is it? Probably 5 in college football?
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that was the case.
That'd be my guess. I know
Yeah.
it's 3. Like the home team gets a 3-point advantage in the
In the
NFL.
NFL, yes.
Neutral,
100%.
because a neutral
I bet
site
you they do.
is there's just none. I think Notre Dame needs to get at least 3 points playing in front of Irish people.
And there are going to be
Lots
a
of
ton of Notre Dame fans.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
A
I bet
ton.
they're crazy
100%.
over there too.
I can say from a fact, Navy fans do not travel, even though they like the
Yeah.
boats. They cannot get a boat over there. apparently.
True.
Well, I mean, how many of the people are stationed out there, though, that will have Naval Academy ties? They're serious.
Hopefully,
Good question.
Yeah.
they'll probably be working if they're stationed out there. I don't know if they'll be able to go to the game.
That's fair.
I have an answer for that. It's 2.5 points is the advantage in college, it says.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a trade, by the way, in the NFL real quick.
Oh, okay.
The Arizona
18.
Cardinals have traded Isaiah Simmons to the New York Giants for a 7th-round pick.
That is chicken feed.
Okay.
That is really, really cheap.
Somebody make the sense of that for me.
All righty.
I think it makes sense because Isaiah Simmons is kind of a tweener, and that guy wowed all of us at the Combine, but how many of us can actually tell Isaiah Simmons' stats since he started playing in the NFL?
I thought he was their starting nickel, like their strong safety guy that came down to the box. I thought he started a lot of games for them last year.
Yeah, but like he starts at like not a position. Like he
Well, that
plays
was his
safety, linebacker, and nickel. I don't know. He has 7.5 career sacks in last 2 seasons, 4 interceptions. Yeah.
8th overall pick.
Yeah. I remember.
For a 7th-round pick?
I remember everyone thinking he was going to be a stud.
If
Coming
we
out of
can
college
fast
at Clemson.
forward, I think everybody thought he was going to be Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But he hasn't been.
No, he hasn't.
He has 7.5 career sacks.
Good tackler. He only
Yeah.
missed less than 5% of his tackles last year, but gave a lot up when he was targeted. Gave up 77% of the targets towards him and gave up 4 touchdowns last year with a rating of 104 for the opposing quarterback. So not great, but still a guy that you would think as a reclamation project would garner more than that.
So we're pairing him up with Kayvon Thibodeau.
Ooh.
There you go.
That should be solid.
Talking about another guy
Forgot
who could
about
get
that
traded
guy.
for my pick. And the numbers reflect this. When you look at the San Francisco spread, San Francisco taking on the Chargers, San Francisco is favored by 7.5. So the books have already reflected that Trey Lance is going to play in this game. 7.5 is a lot of points,
Yep.
but Charger quarterbacks have been putrid this offseason, or this preseason, rather. So I think last week, Easton Stick threw about 50% for 200 yards, 45 attempts, 2 interceptions. So they're going to try to get back in the game. They just failed to do so. So I think Trey Lance is going to be playing for his life, literally, now that we got an update saying that San Francisco is going to seek a trade to ship Trey Lance out. So I'm going to take San Francisco to cover the 7.5.
I like it.
Okay.
It's a big,
All right.
big number.
That is a big number.
I'm going to go to the great state of California and the city of San Diego. Brady Hoke's San Diego State Aztecs taking on the Bobcats of Ohio. Give me San Diego State minus 2.5 at home. This is actually going to be a pretty good game between San Diego State and Ohio. Ohio quarterback Curtis Rourke coming back from a torn ACL that he suffered 8 months ago against Ball State. I think Curtis Rourke and Ohio will be a fun Maction team for you to be familiar with.
Yeah.
Come Tuesdays and Wednesday nights later in the fall. But for now, for a guy coming off of a torn ACL, this is kind of a wild card game to me, considering the recovery time for him and Typically, you're 9 to 12 months out of an ACL. He's going to play in this one 8 months after. I think for that reason, I'm going to lean towards the home team and lean for San Diego State. At home, give me the Aztecs -2.5 over the Bobcats of Ohio.
All right, I feel that. My last pick of the day, and sometimes it's just a feel thing with bets, right? Is that not correct? Is
That's
that
true.
not that's a feel thing?
Yep.
This Jets-Giants game. Jets are favored by 6, so they're -6. I'm actually taking the Giants in this one.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to play
Okay.
in this one.
Well, I'm still taking it.
I know, it's interesting.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with a
Ramon
feel.
going all underdogs.
I am.
It's a feel sometimes.
It's a
though.
feel,
It is
and
a
I
feel.
feel this one. I got Tyrod Taylor winning this one. After the Aaron Rodgers gets out of this game, he will start, and that's all they've told us about Aaron Rodgers. I just don't believe they're going to be able to pull this one together in one game in a couple series to win it. Of course, Tyrod will be the star of this game. Also, Jalen Hyatt will have 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
It's a field thing.
2 touchdowns. Wow.
Ooh.
It's a field
Okay.
Maybe bet on that on the side.
And,
There you go.
Yep, absolutely.
So no, Robert did not pay me to do this.
Go ahead and take
yes,
it. Go ahead and take
It is a little bit of a feel, like Ramon was saying. So I'm going to go ahead and say, the Ravens just had their 24-game win streak in the preseason broke by the Commanders. But it's time for a new streak, folks. It's time to score some points. So I'm going to take the Ravens versus Tampa Bay in this preseason game coming up at +1.5.
Okay. I like it.
That's what I'm going to do.
How much you pay a Bert?
A little too much Ravens love for me, but that's okay.
Hey, some places got it too, but you know what? No big deal. Just walk off with the 1.5. That's fine. That's
perfect.
fine. My
Take the
bet's
money
up
and
here in
run.
a second.
Slip me some cash under there. Slip me some
That's
cash
right.
under there.
Robert, your final pick.
I'm going to go with the people that unseated the Ravens' preseason dominance last week, and it is the Commanders.
I feel
And
a little bit of bitterness here.
It is tough for me to go against the Bengals or to root for the Bengals, but in this game, I think I'm going to have to. Washington won their Super Bowl last week, and they are 4.5-point favorites. I don't care if it's Brandon Allen or Brandon Scrub. Anybody that you put in there this week, they're gassed. They did everything they needed to do. Sam Howell was a fantastic quarterback running against base defense. Great. I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati to fill the 4.5.
There
Okay.
we go.
All right. I'm going to stay right here again and say the Titans +2.5 at home against the New England Patriots to wrap up preseason. My hunch is that the Titans' first team offensive line gets a good amount of run in this game. And if Will Levis is available, I think he is looking to make up for lost time that he didn't have against the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Titans win their final preseason game. I think you've got enough guys battling for position still at important game-impacting places, including quarterback, that Malik Willis and Will Levis, to me, outperform Bailey Zappi and Malik Cunningham among the big group of New England Patriot quarterbacks. Trace McSorley in there as well, and remains to be seen, I guess, if we'll see Mac Jones. But I think the Titans get it done in this one. And look, if Mike Vrabel's throwing out the possibility that Ryan Tannehill does play in this final preseason game, I would imagine if Tannehill's playing, DeAndre Hopkins probably is too. Those guys would need to be a package deal. So even just one possession for those guys, I think would be enough to move this line. So I'm going to go ahead and take it at 2.5 before it does or doesn't move. And even if it doesn't, I think the Titans win this one.
Yeah. I like that. Give them a series, right? If you give them a series, I feel like you at least get 7.
Yeah, you got to at least get 7. Heck, without Tannehill, they've gotten points. That's one thing I've been pleasantly surprised with this year is watching those guys walk up and down the field. The true test is always going to be week 1, but they've rolled good enough to where, at least on the confidence side of operating offensively, believing in what Tim Kelly is calling this year, watching these young quarterbacks be calm about their deliveries and decision-making, although there have been interceptions, although there have been sacks. I think the belief that they can continue this on, I'm buying it too.
So some sports media news to sprinkle in here as well as we wrap a bow on our first Thursday 3. So total picks here. Kayla's got Jags -7, Notre Dame -20.5, and Ravens +1.5. Bert going Bengals +4.5, 49ers -7.5, New Mexico State -6.5. Ramon going all preseason NFL underdogs, which is a hot take. Dolphins +7, Lions +4.5, Giants +6. I'm taking Vandy -17.5, Titans +2.5, and San Diego State -2.5.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Pretty
Good
good mix,
stuff.
too. We didn't jump too much on each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we didn't, actually.
I was
did not.
surprised no one else took Vandy or Titans in this.
I think I was kind of like, I'm going to stay away if anybody else takes that off.
I don't know how Vandy's going to play this weekend against a team, that's traveling this far. Like, to take that spread is a bit risque. So
-17.5 against a team they beat by 53 last year.
Yeah.
Like, I know Timmy Chang, the offensive guru who was made head coach last year, was in his first game.
Yeah.
And that team only won 3 games and was better down the stretch, but 17.5 is not a lot of points.
Aren't they displaced? Didn't they have a lot going on last year when they played them? I don't think they were playing out of their own home stadium last year.
No,
like,
they weren't.
Hawaii had a lot going on.
And this year they have a lot going on.
53 points is a
Over
lot
there.
of points.
It is a lot of points. I'm not saying Vandy's not capable of. It's just when we're talking about first week playing college football, I got Vandy winning, but I just don't know what it's going to look like because we don't know anything about Hawaii. That's my only thing. That's the reason I didn't pick them this weekend to actually choose a winner.
Yeah.
Or choose a spread, I guess.